picking up things on the Thursday night after we discovered that we had been pumping our shower water straight into our boat. Not on purpose, obviously. We left things last time with us mopping up a boat full of water. We're Mel Paul, and usually our boat brings us some pretty good times. Times like these. Times like these. Gorgeous sunsets. And I do miss all that time spent peaceful cow watching. I do love a good bit of cow footage. They always seem so peaceful and like good looking animals, you know? Well, those days seem like a distant memory. Now we both have full-time jobs and we're bobbing about the marina, ripping out our leaking shower after flooding the boat. Subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. I've gotten back home from work tonight and Paul has gone back to his work for 5 days and my task is to just get things in order. At this stage, all my clothes are currently living right there. You can't walk through the door for shoes. Yes, I know what a lot of you are going to say. Well, just, you know, why do you have so much? And to me, it's not that much. It's the least I've ever had. But in moments like these, you just realize it's such a mission to figure out clothing. Right on in there is our dehumidifier, so we've been running that just to kind of dry out the area. This board was cut like this when we've got the boat. There's a board behind me that fits on top of here. It's going to be wet in there and that's the reason why I'm not putting the clothes in here. We're just going to keep that as dry as possible. We don't want any super damp setting in, and that mixed with clothing and shoes is obviously going to be a nightmare, and it's obviously super wet, so we're going to run that and just try and dry out the area as much as possible. What do you say we leave the wardrobe organising behind and fast forward to the weekend, hey? Fresh from the shower block, all clean. It is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I am gonna finish getting ready and I'm on my way out to friends at Charlotte Marina. I'm gonna walk there. It's about a 50-minute walk along the river. It's beautiful, and I just thought I have to pop on, leave the woes of not having a shower on board and everything in a mess on the boat, because the sun has been out today and it legitimately feels like spring. I've been inside editing all day, so definitely time to hop out and enjoy it. The air seems different. I love the change of seasons, and this is what boat life is about and when it's at its best. Winter is tough, so having a sparkling day like this has just been such a relief, especially with what happened earlier in the week. I will update you on that later, but for now it's time to enjoy the good weather. The fact that I'm walking right now along a river to go and have dinner at my friends on their boat from one marina to another is the kind of thing I never would have envisioned for myself. But the novelty that this is our lifestyle never is ever gonna wear off, I don't think.
I'm sure it wasn't true. Holding on too long on unresolved questions holds you down. What could have been a friendly smile has turned into a frown. I'm moving on and on and on.
Decisions. This muddy path or this muddy path. Never ideal in the winter to be tackling a towpath after the rain, but I have appropriate footwear on and This is just obviously the remnants of the flooding that happened due to the storm, I guess. Just have to navigate it carefully. Squidgy. In person this is a little better, but would you look at that golden light? Of course we'd rather be on the boat and be using it for what it is made to do. Travel around, sightsee, all those good things. But we will be staying put for a while now, especially with having to fix the shower. There's so many little setbacks and things that happen. But I will say this, even though we are not continuous cruisers, we don't use the boat that much to move about because we just have other life priorities right now. Living on a boat opens up your mind to still a bit of a different lifestyle, and it is pretty cool. I'm not outdoorsy, but the fact that we live on water, that we live here on this river, and that you make other friends with boats, and it's such a cool idea that we just go and visit our friends on their boat. And the trip there is not in a car and definitely not boring. And when you're out here, I forget about my day job, I forget about all the troubles. I obviously do not forget that Paul's not with me. I miss him and wish he was here always, but somehow it's easy to feel like I don't have a care in the world.
The landscape changes around me, on and on, I feel immersed. Whatever happened to me, happened for my highest good. I read that in so many books, now it's almost understood. I'm moving on and on, on and on. I'm moving on.
Made it in under an hour and just before dark, and enjoyed every single second of the sunset. While I spent the weekend holding down the fort and spending time with friends, Paul was away at work and making sure he had all the necessary bits and bobs to tackle the shower when he next came home.
So, back from work, got a few bits and bobs. I knew this is exactly what was in there because there's not that much clearance between the ballast. So I got a new one of those, and then I got the hose size because it's that grey hose size that goes to the gulper pump, which is, I don't know if you can see it, it's down there in the back. My plan today is to take out the cubicle and the surround, and then the tray at the bottom, because I've got no, so these are tiles, so I've got no access to hold that on from the bottom, so I'm going to cut a little inspection hatch over there and then redo the floors and stuff. So come along with me on this adventure. So we've got the main part of the cubicle out. So yeah, it just came out with a few screws that were in down here. They went through this channel that's on the wall, and then on the inside of the channel there's screws. So I've taken those out, and then that channel I've just got to take out the silicone down the side here, so then that channel can come off. And then once that channel's off, then I can take that channel off, and then I can lift the shower tray out and then start taking up the tiles. So this is what we're working with. All this work just for this little bugger. I'll take him off, put the new one on. I'm going to tidy up down there first. Clean all the silicone off. And I'll start chopping up we'll take the threshold off. And then I'll start chopping up the tiles. And then we can go shopping. I'm quite excited for that. This is the dirty part. Took me longer than anything to get the silicone off. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. We're back at it again today. This is the state of my life. We've got a shower cubicle in the kitchen with a few shower doors down the side of the boat. Yeah, and all the new stuff at the front. Spin you around. This is our hallway. We got a shower tray down there, and we got a toilet in the hallway. But then it gets better. I don't know what went on in here. I just finished taking all the tiles up. They were cracked. So yeah, this is the state of play in here. So I'm going to take all the tiles out and bin those, and then I'm going to try chip as much of the grout off as possible, and then set the tray up because it was on the tile, so I've got to get the height right so all the holes line back up again. So I'll have to put some shims under the shower tray to shim it up. And then I'm going to cut an inspection hatch there, and then put the laminated vinyl tiles, start outboard and then work inboard, so that if we need to get into the inspection hatch, we can just clip the front view up, take the threshold off, get in the inspection hatch. Yeah, that's it. So I don't have to take the whole shower out again if we have another problem. A lot of mess and toilets. Thanks Mark for the gloves. Stuck it over the poo pipe to keep the smell out. Thanks Mark. Yeah, so that's all the tiles off. I've just got to get the grout or the adhesive, try and make it as smooth as possible so that I don't have any lumpy bumpies in the floor. Leveled the floor with a wide chisel, put the sort of barrier down, and then I've just started test fitting to see what my gaps are like. So I'm going to make that one flush up against there, and then have the join there, because my inspection hatch is going to be over here. So these ones are going to go underneath the shower tray, and then those ones are going to go sort of not under the shower tray, so I can lift them up and get into the inspection hatch, so I don't have to take the tray out every time it leaks. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to try see if I can get this, at least those ones in, that all in tonight, so I can put the lube back on, so at least we can use the lube. We're not having to go and use the merino one. Knackered, man. The poop machine hooked up.
We can do without a shower. We can't be doing without a toilet.
You just need to drill some pilot holes. Really golden. Day 3 of the bathroom fit out. I was in a bit of a rush yesterday because I wanted to try to get the toilet in before Melissa came home. I put that sort of like gold insulation underneath, and then I've put the put together laminate, plastic laminate flooring. I'm going to sort of try and mark around this edge, maybe just going up until here, so that I can remove those 2 rows. I'll just cut that and then silicone this edge, so that we can get to the hatch that we're going to put in underneath there. There's still a lot of work. I've got to pull that 2 rows back, but this side down here is pretty much done, and we can get this all in. This is the flap. It's going to go down. I'll go over it. I've cut them to the shape of the shower, so this can hinge up. Open up that. I've got to drill this out and get your hand through up to here. Sort the P-trap out and inspect it for leaks if need be. Just like that, we have an inspection hatch. I just got to break that slab. All I got to do is just crack it. I can take some of the pieces out, and I can get my hand from there through to there and the trays in and inspect if it's leaking. And if we have a problem like we had before, you can just change the trap underneath there. Well, that's what I'm going for. Easier said than done. Bit of banging and crashing. We've got ourselves an inspection hole, and I can see underneath there a little bit of ballast, but that's not going to make a difference with the amount of stuff we've put on this boat. So yeah, I think we've got more there. It's also pretty central as well, so yeah, I don't think that's going to affect it.
Welcome to a lovely Saturday. Carrying on with the shower reinstallation. We're just clearing up the old silicone, ready for the new. I've just been to screw fix. We are good to go.
Nice silicone to sink it shut.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what's that one for if I just went and bought this one?
That one's for the floor, that one's for the tray.
I'll take you through and show you kind of what it looks like currently. We moved past the shower in the walkway. The problem with anything on a boat is when one room needs to be changed, the rest of the boat is kind of a maze. Most of the flooring done, obviously just the finishing touches. We went for this same tile, similar to what we had before. Being that this problem kind of sprung itself on us, we took the opportunity to redo the bathroom floor because we always planned to. One of the tiles that was on here was cracked. The colour was like a dark grey slate colour on those tiles, and they were actual tiles, so freezing cold when you walked on them. So in replacing it, we didn't want to make any crazy decisions. We haven't fully decided what we would put on the flooring for the rest of the boat, so we just went with what it originally was, sort of a similar colour. So we've got this vinyl laminate flooring. These are the tiles that we used, and it's just got that same grey look that we had before, which we really like. There's no issues with it, and it feels nice to the touch, and I think we'll feel better if you walk on it barefoot. Chuffed with that decision, and a good excuse to get some of the bathroom renovations done, seeing as we were taking out the shower. Paul's made a snazzy little hatch for if anything ever goes wrong, he'll have access to the drain, which is key. Today he's just got to reinstall the shower, silicone the whole bit, and then we've obviously got to finish and do around all the edging. We had bought this edging for the floor. What was there before, because it was tile, was obviously just grout, so there wasn't an edging around. We bought this grey edging thinking we're going to put it on. It could of course get a bit crazy cutting around all the strange little edges that we have in the bathroom, so probably going to return that piece, and we've decided to go with silicone. So silicone will replace the grout, and it'll be much easier access and easy to remove when if Paul hopefully never has to. If Paul ever needs to lift the tile to get into the little hatch that he's made, he'll easily be able to remove the silicone and then just re-silicone it up.
I siliconed the tray in yesterday. So that's in solid. And this morning I just siliconed these arms to the side. And I'll put the cubicle surround bit in, and the doors, and then seal it all up. And finished. And tested. Running out of steam. I was all keen at the beginning.
As you do with these things.
Well, I've got to go back to work today, so I've got to get it finished.
Carry on then.
Good luck.
For this weekend, we are done. Paul has fitted the tiles here by the door, and he's just put the cover where it joins to the rest of the floor. Rehang the shower doors and obviously a water tester once the silicone has dried. But the shower's back in, that's repaired, and we are super glad about it. There's one little quick fix that Paul needs to do, but he's got to borrow a tool from a friend, and that's to do with the hatch under the tile. So he'll finish sealing up the rest of the floor once he's got that. But that'll happen next weekend. For now, it's time to get some donuts. We obviously don't know what's up when it comes to these donuts. Apparently everyone knows about Project D except us. I went there with £5 just thinking, oh, we'll get 2 donuts, one for me, one for Paul, not realising they come in these boxes and how fancy they were. I asked the guy which ones were which, and it took him about 20 minutes just to tell me all the flavours, so very excited to tuck in. We're going to leave this one here. Thanks so much for keeping us company through fixing up our shower. The next video kicks off with a cruise on a different boat than ours, so be sure to join us then. Thanks for watching.